So let's rewind to the beginning.
I can't believe I believed everything we had was less. So young and naive of me to think she was from your past. Silly of me to dream of one day having your kids. Love is so.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. We are all things lifestyle, from home content to motherhood to womanhood to makeup to fashion and just a girl chit chat. Today I am bringing a very kind of different vlog style, y'all. This is my labor and delivery story, and it's quite an interesting one. I've been trying to find time for the last 7 months to film this because there's a way I wanted to really tell this story, because it's a very interesting story. So let's rewind to the beginning. Oi, hey. So y'all, I said I was gonna come back and give a thorough story time of what has been happening the last 10 days I've been here. The workers are currently on break, so I was like, let me hurry up and film this. It's really gloomy and rainy outside, but because it's a large window, we're getting light. All glory to God. So how did I get here? Let me see if I can pull them again. The 24th, February 24th at 2 a.m. to 2:10, I felt the urge to pee. This is a Friday. Prior to that, I had my regular prenatal appointment 3 days prior, and everything came back looking good. I even passed my glucose test. So I'm not thinking of it. Nothing was out of the ordinary. I didn't do more than I usually do in this stage. As I said, I just hit my 7th month. So that Friday, I just felt the urge to pee. I was sleeping, woke up, went to the bathroom. Now, prior to all this happening, and what I want to say that kind of saved me in a way and saved my child, is that Monday before, I was on TikTok, and just like any other pregnant woman, I'm on pregnancy TikTok, okay? I'm on the side of pregnancy, okay? And this video of the mucus plug popped up on my For You page, and I just decided to watch it. And I was like, maybe this might be good for me to know in the future. And in this video, it was showing what the mucus plug looked like, what does it indicate if you were to see it, blah, 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 and the third.
3 things that you should know about your mucus plug. The mucus plug is actually a piece of mucus that sits in your cervix, and the purpose of it is to protect the baby from anything getting in the uterus. The mucus plug can have different appearances when it comes out. Now, you can lose your mucus plug by bits and pieces here and there during your pregnancy, and it can regrow back. You can just lose the full thing at once towards the end of your pregnancy, or you cannot lose it at all, and then it'll eventually come out when you're in labor. The name for the mucus plug actually coming out is known as the bloody show or having a show. Those are just 2 other common phrases for losing your mucus plug. And one more bonus is that once you release your mucus plug, so it comes out and you experience that bloody show, it is important to know that this can be a sign that labor is near. Now, this is not a sign for everyone, and it doesn't mean just because you're losing pieces here and there that you're going to be in labor soon. But when you do lose the full thing, this can be a great indicator that labor is possibly near.
So as I said, I even saved the video. I was like, that's pretty interesting. Didn't even know that even exists. So because of this video, let me tell you how it applies to this particular day. We're back to February 24th, 2 a.m. Felt the urge to pee. I got up, I went to the bathroom as usual, and when you're further along and you're in your third trimester, you usually leak just a little bit. So I was already leaking. I'm not thinking too much of it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta pee. Light leakage. I wipe. And when I wipe, something told me to look at what I wiped. There goes my mucus plug. Like, the moment I saw it, I knew exactly what it was due to this video. So when I saw it, I said, nah, that can't be it. But what really verified that it was the mucus plug was what happened after. So I realized after I wiped, I started leaking. But to me, I'm like, oh, it's just light leakage. I wiped again. It didn't stop. So I got up and I started Googling. I'm Googling. I'm like, how do you know your water broke? Because at this point, it started pouring like a faucet. It's like somebody turned on the faucet and there was no stop. It was just running down my leg. There was no slow leakage. It was like pouring out of my private part. And so the more I was Googling symptoms and things like that, I was like, okay, it's confirmed. I've been standing here in my bathroom. I said I'm going to give myself 10 minutes to see what my body does in the sense of if it stops. Because as I said, I was not feeling contractions. I was not in pain. It's just water was coming out of my vajayjay. And when 10 minutes went by and I saw it wouldn't stop, I said, definitely my water broke. So because of that, I go ahead and I'm Googling the number to my physician, and I am blowing up this number, leaving voicemails, because at this point I knew what it indicated and I was too early. I was 28 weeks in 3 days. 28 weeks in 3 days. So this is not a Friday, this is a Saturday. I don't know why I said Friday. Saturday morning. So when I finally get a call back from my physician, I told her exactly what was going on and I told her I'm coming to the hospital, and she said, okay. At this point, I just threw on a robe, threw on some sandals, grabbed my tote, and I woke my husband up. I said, my water broke. We need to go to the hospital right now. And so here we are. Sorry, they came to bring me lunch. Anyways, I was like, it's time to go. So we're rushing, we're going. My husband was so chilled. It was like he had no urgency, but I just knew if I acted on how I felt, like I could give birth to this baby in the car. Cause I just knew something ain't right with my body. And I was like, I ain't trying to trigger nothing. So we finally get to the hospital. This is my second towel soaking wet. It's like my sandals was full of water. It sounded like I came out of the pool with sandals. It's making that flap flap noise. Like, here we are. We finally get upstairs. Mind you, it's like at this point 3 a.m. And I'm looking at the lady. I'm like, I need to see my midwife right now. And she taking her sweet old time, and I'm looking at her like, ma'am. So finally, we go in, take me to the back, and I feel like because it's my first time, and you know, a lot of times first time mothers, they tend to be over dramatic. That's why maybe they didn't have a sense of urgency. But when I was coming in, everybody was just so casual. From my husband to the receptionist to the nurses, everybody was so casual, and it was kind of irking me. I ain't gonna front with you. It's irking me because I don't know what's going on. I know something big is going on, and it ain't supposed to happen right now, and I wanted urgency. As much as I'm urgent, I need you to be urgent, okay? So they finally get me hooked up, high V's, checking my blood pressure, checking my temperature, all that. My midwife comes in. She checks my cervix because now she realizing, oh, everybody realizing like, oh, you're pouring. And I'm like, yeah. I said that. I was pouring. And when she checked my cervix, not only I was 2 centimeters, she felt my baby head. I said, hey, quoi? Ain't no way. And so at this point, she was like, we need an ultrasound. My baby head so low, child. Like, he was on his way out. He was ready to see the world. And I'm looking like, why he so low? Is this normal? When did he turn upside down? When did we get here? He was perfectly fine 4 days ago. Like, what? So, as I said, poking me with IV, poking me with steroids, everything like that to speed up certain parts of his development if he were to come that time. And at this point, when everything kind of got steady, this doctor looked me straight in the eye and said, you cannot leave until you have this baby. Excuse me? What? And he said, yeah, our goal is to keep you here till 34 weeks. Remind you, I was 28 weeks. And I'm like, wait a second. That's 6 weeks from now. That's a month and 2 weeks. That's all the way in April. And remind you, the 24th of February. We're not even in March. I'm filming this March 5th. I've already been here going on 11 days. So at this point, my face is ghostly and everybody is just like trying to pick my spirits up. I'm like, all this positivity I don't need right now. Too much is going on and what you're giving me is not what I want. Because you just told me I cannot see my home for 6 weeks. You just told me I cannot go back home. You just told me I could not walk further than my bathroom. When I tell you, I just felt like death took upon my body because, as I said, I was taking it easy. I was entering my 3rd trimester and truly I wanted to enjoy the last days of my pregnancy. I had plans. I wanted to celebrate getting this far in my 2nd pregnancy with my 1st child. So for that to be just snatched away and everything I left behind and knowing that my kid is coming a month early, telling me he's going to be a Nicu baby, like, this is not setting well for me. This is just too much going on at once. And you're giving me information overload of something that's not supposed to be happening right now. So at this point, a week goes by. This happened on a Saturday morning. Now we follow it to Friday. Last Friday. Today is Tuesday. Last Friday, okay? March 1st. I literally started feeling different kinds of cramping that wasn't like my mild cramping. And I just thought because I was tolerating the cramping that it wasn't contractions. Because I was just expecting me to be in excruciating pain. And I was like, I can run with it. Was it bothering me? Yes. Was it painful? Yes. But it wasn't like killer pain. So from 3:15 to 6 a.m. they did not stop. But as I said, I'm in between sleep. I'm not thinking much of it. I'm like, I'm tolerating them. Yeah, I'm in pain. I'm uncomfortable. But we can keep pushing. Because these nurses told me if I was in excruciating pain, that's when I'm in labor. Well, this doctor came on check on me. I felt the urge to go pee. For some reason, every time I got the urge to pee, something bad happens. Well, y'all, I got up and blood started coming out of me. I rushed to the bathroom. Trails of blood is falling around me to the bathroom. And I was like, something is wrong. Something is wrong. All of a sudden, I'm experiencing these excruciating contractions these people are talking about. Like, every time I have this contraction, I am crying. I am crying. So at this point, remember, I came in, I was 2 centimeters. When they checked me that Friday, I was 3 centimeters and thinning. So at this point, everybody's like, okay, it's definitely looking like you're going to go into labor. And I said, okay, now I'm not gonna lie to y'all. By that time, I'm 29 weeks. Yeah, it was early, but I was kind of happy because the percentile for my child to survive is high. Regardless, he was gonna go to the NICU. I was like, cool. Because I don't see myself doing 6 weeks anyways. Let's get this baby out, pop him in the NICU, and we keep it pushing.
This is your last moments. Is it maybe?
I'm hoping that it looks
you grew. You're gonna grow 1 centimeter an hour. Right now you're at 3.
Your face. It puffed up, right? What happened?
The food and laying down.
I was sitting there the more I looked at myself, I said, why my nose look like that?
It's on purpose.
The ugly part.
You went straight to the end?
I went straight to the end.
We figure that next tribulation when we get there. Child, as I said, I started from 3:15. I didn't stop contracting or laboring till like 8 p.m. So the contractions were getting worse, but because I was still under 5 centimeters, they could not give me the epidural. Remind you, every time I'm having these contractions, I'm crying. Like, they hurt. They freaking hurt.
Yeah. Breathe in. Oh, there you go.
And they gave me some pain medicine to subside the pain. And when I tell you that medicine knocked me out, I was napping for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. The other medicines they kept giving me made me throw up. I barely ate, eating ice chips because I threw up my meal. Like, I had my best friend come, my sister come, my mom come, because I really believed, everyone believed, they even prepared the Nicu thing for my baby. Like, we all believed the baby was coming that day. But for some reason, he decided I was just testing y'all. Like, that's what it was giving, because as I said, I was laboring from 3:15 a.m. to 8 p.m. And yeah, I just didn't contract anymore. My body just was like, yeah, just playing. We're not having a baby. Yeah, we're good. We're gonna hold this baby out. When I realized I wasn't contracting anymore, nothing was happening, I was sitting here like, I know I did not went through all this pain for no baby to come out. And obviously, you see me here, no baby is here. He is still in me, kicking and thriving. They say he's a very happy baby. Growing. Oh, and he growing. He got strong legs. I'm like, did this baby just fake pump me? He showed it. He fake pumped me to the gourds. And I was just sitting here just so depressed. And it clicked. I was like, I'm not leaving here till April. For real. Like, for real. I'm not leaving here till April. And right then and there, reality set in that I will not stop seeing these 4 walls for the next 28 days. And even now saying it, making this my 11th day, is still mind-boggling. I'm still trying to process what that means. And I'm just praying it goes by super fast. Like, I wish I can go to sleep and wake up and they induce me. Because when I tell you I am feeling the sense of depression, I am feeling it. I'm trying to keep myself busy, but there's so much you can do that you can't do while you're here. Wednesday comes, I turn 28 weeks. I go in for my gestational diabetes test, and I go in for my wellness check. If anyone has been pregnant before, or you haven't gotten there, but after their 20-week anatomy scan, a lot of places slowly just don't give you ultrasounds anymore. They just check for the heartbeat. After that, that's your wellness check. But this particular visit, even though I passed my gestational diabetes test, my belly was measuring slightly bigger, and the midwife assumed it's just my baby gaining weight a little bit more faster, and that they scheduled me an ultrasound for my next visit. I was approaching the time of my trimester where appointments, instead of being monthly, it was going to be bi-weekly and then so forth weekly. So I told her, you know what, just to make sure everything is good, let's schedule for an ultrasound. and she lightly mentioned preterm labor. But the way my midwife was describing it, it was like, yeah, we can get that fixed, nip it in the bud, send you on your way home, probably put you on bed rest at home. But it's nothing, you know, serious to scare you or anything. I don't think that will apply to you. Left that doctor's office skipping and happy like, oh my God, I don't have gestational diabetes, you know, because I was eating terrible in this pregnancy. My son had me eating fried chicken nearly every day, heartburn every day. Like, it was just crazy. So to come out like that was like, yeah, everything is looking good. Friday rolls around. My best friend and her husband is going to Mexico. This is important because me and my sister-in-law ends up dropping her off to the airport. And what's so funny about it, we always joke like she's the reason why my water broke. Because I remember as I was dropping her off and we're unloading and she's prepping to go into the airport, and I remember she got low to my belly and she was like telling my son, she was like, you better not do anything while I'm gone. You better not do anything while I'm gone. And we're kiki and ha-ha. I feel like my son really took it to heart. He took it to heart. So we always joke like, you the reason why we here, girl. So my day was good. Nothing was out of the ordinary. The only thing that was out of the ordinary, but not necessarily, it's now is coming back to mind because now going through it, I'm now recognizing that your girl was in labor. Okay, now we catched up to me being at the hospital and still processing what was going on, and my baby fake pumping the following week. Literally, guys, he fake pumped, so I was in labor for 10 hours as I described, and then contractions stopped and they reeled me back in. And one of my goals, because I just felt myself slowly dying in the hospital, I kid you not, I kept praying to God, like, if I can have this baby at 30 weeks and he's 4 pounds, my goal. Because regardless he was born 36 or 30 weeks, he would still be in a NICU, but he would be stronger to like fight for his life, basically, by that time. Like his his probability of surviving was way more higher having him at 30 weeks than if I were to have him before. So here I am praying because I can't believe this baby fake pumped me. I've never even heard this thing in my life, but literally, y'all, this was my second time going into labor, 10 hours, and just stopped. Remind you, he's still descending down. Okay, 5 days later, literally the day I turned 30 weeks, the night of, I go into labor. This is how I did not put 2 and 2 together, y'all. My back started hurting at 10. I went into active labor at 10:30. Roll the clip.
Or it's 10:59 or 11 p.m. I am feeling severe contractions again. My back is killing me, and I know for a fact these are contractions. At first, I just thought it was my back killing me, but no. And I had the hugest urge to poop. I pooped, and the contractions did not go away. My back has been on fire for the last 30 minutes, and there's so much pressure in my pelvic area. I'm praying this is not a fake pump again. I told God, if it's a fake pump, I don't want to feel this, because it's just too much pain for a kid not to come out, and I just don't want to go through what I went through Friday over again. And I'm at the stage where it's like they're not going to prevent me from delivering, but they're not going to help me either. So I'm going to give myself another 10 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. I'm going to give myself another 10 minutes, ask them to put me on the monitor and see what happens. So right now I'm just kind of walking around, just kind of helping the pain. but when I lay down, it's so excruciating. So that's how I knew it was contractions again. Oh God. Even right now, like, oh fuck. So I changed into the hospital gown. I had a house dress, but it's just easier to put the monitor and stuff like that. It's just easier with the dress, the gown, to do so. So yeah, I'm gonna ask them to put me on the monitor and track them just to see what's going on, because no, I'm not going through this again. I'm supposed to have 4 more weeks. I can't do with the up, down, up, down. I can't do that. It's getting to me. Nope. Every time I get comfortable with the idea and I'm like, I can do it, something like this keep happening, and I'm not messing with it. All right. Okay.
At that moment, I kind of figured I was going into labor, but because of everything that happened, I was just like, let me be sure. No, after that clip, y'all, it got stronger. It did not feel what it felt 5 days prior when I went into labor for 10 hours. I thought that feeling was unbearable. No. When I went into active labor, that was a different kind of pain. When I tell you Jehovah was on my side, y'all, my best friend, my sister, okay, at this point, she's my sister. She's not even a best friend. Came to visit me that day. Because when y'all saw my braids, she the one who came in and helped me, because I was like, you know what, I went into labor again. Let me just have my braids done just in case it happens. She came and visited me, brought me Chick-fil-A. We were zhushing. And that particular day, she lost someone at like 9:30. I went into labor 30 minutes later. So not only she lost a family friend that had her still at the hospital at that time, she was down the hall the moment my contractions started. All I did, because my husband, at that moment, I could not comfort her. I was not in labor. I sent my husband to her, like a representation of me, like to stand in for me and to comfort her because of her loss. And literally I called my husband because the nurse was like, call your husband and tell him to come back right now. I call and my husband passed the phone to her and I didn't even know. All I said was, I'm in labor. I'm going to have this baby. Like, I felt like I was in a Lifetime movie, y'all. I was like, I'm gonna have this baby today. Y'all need to come back. All I heard as they're rummaging my stuff and putting it in the cart and moving me to the labor and delivery room is pitter-patter down the hall. From my husband, from my best friend, from her husband, they're already there. They're like, what? And the nurses are like, pack her stuff. We're moving to the labor room. And I'm like, is this really happening? Is this all real this time? Is it really gonna happen? Am I really gonna have this baby today? Next thing you know, I'm filing paperwork for C-section just in case something happens. I'm going through it, okay? Now, they wanted to give me the epidural way earlier, but I was only 4 centimeters. For me to be 4 centimeters, I wasn't 4, I was 3.5. So at 12 a.m., now it's the next day, I was 3.5 centimeters, and I didn't want to get the epidural and what happened 5 days before to happen again. So I told them, give me pain meds for me to be able to bear the pain until I dilate some more, until I get to 5 centimeters to take the epidural. They gave me this pain medicine that they gave me 5 days before, and this time it did not work. I felt everything, and my contractions got shorter, closer, and like the contractions itself got longer. It got like almost to a minute long every 3 minutes. So at this point, when I was like, the medicine is not working, I need something stronger, they're just like, but you're only 3 centimeters, like we don't know if you're gonna give birth. And I was like, listen, these contractions are different. I'm going to give birth today. Give me the medicine. Give me all that you got. I'm sorry, I said I didn't want the epidural. Give me the epidural. And now they're like, no, we're not giving it to you. Ma'am, did you not hear what I said? I'm fighting for my life. I'm gonna need the medicine now. From 10:30 p.m. to 7 a.m., no meds. I'm begging these people, hey, look, the contractions are getting worse. I barely can speak. I'm looking at my best friend. Tell these people to give me something right now. Like, it's unbearable. I need to pee. I am overly stimulated. My baby was the baby that kept moving, so I'm like tied down to like 6 straps trying to hear his heartbeat and his movements and all that, his breathing and all that. Like, I'm feeling overstimulated at this point. I'm in excruciating pain. I'm tied down. Like, I'm just not comfortable overall. It's been a very long time. I'm here on this uncomfortable bed. I need to pee. I need to move. I need to do something. So I'm looking at the nurse. I'm like, listen, I need to pee. I didn't get a catheter at that time. So I was looking at her like, no, like I need to feel somewhat in control because I don't know what's going on. No one's giving me medicine. I'm in pain. No one's listening to me. At this point, this resident doctor that I had to report because she is one of the reasons why I had my miscarriage the first time the year before. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I recognized her. And I was like, no, you can't be here. Don't trust you. You don't really care about your job that much the way you should as minorities. That's what threw me off all the way. And at that point, this was where I was experiencing my own experience as a black woman in labor and delivery. And I was like, yo, these people are gonna let me die because ain't no way. No one's listening to me. To the point, like, when I say I am so thankful for my best friend who is in the medical field, who so happened to still be at the hospital fighting for me, because at some point I could not speak. I was in so much pain. It was so excruciating. I remember looking at her and I was like, do not let me die. I looked at, like, we were bawling at this point. Even me saying it now, I'm getting emotional. And we can kiki and haha, but at that point, I literally felt like I was going to die. Because I wasn't being heard. I don't know what's going on with my body. This resident doctor is saying, like, I might be on and off my labor, but they're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to give me anything about it. And everything is about the baby. Granted, care for my baby, yes. But at some point, it turned into, we only give a damn about the baby. We don't care about your well-being. That's what it turned into for me and the people in the room. And I was sitting there like, listen, I'm not going to die. This is not how I'm going to die. I don't want to die. I want to come out alive. Okay? So, at this point, my best friend is arguing with these people like, you need to give her something now. No one has checked at this time. Remember, I said I needed to pee. I needed something at 7 a.m. At this time, y'all, it's 2 going on 3. It's 2:30 going on 3. I can't breathe. I'm in pain. I can't speak. And I'm trying to contain how I feel because I felt like these people were pushing me to be that angry black woman. But this is what I tell you guys who are planning to get pregnant, women of color, or who already is pregnant, who's going to give birth one day or soon, whenever. Be that angry black woman. Forget how you might appear. Be that angry black woman. Because I guarantee you, the moment I became that angry black woman, that's when everybody wanted to do something. For over 12 hours, no one did anything. Did not take my concerns seriously. The doctor checked me once at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and I was still like 3.5 centimeters and just left. And no one really bothered to check me. Everyone just assumed that this was going to pass and I was not going to deliver this baby. So they did nothing. No one looked to give me another sort of medication to ease the pain. No one came to check if I dilated again. No one cared because they did not believe I was going to deliver this baby. So at this point, when I realized I was not being heard, I snatched the monitors off. I had to gather myself. And I said, okay, Sarah, like, you're overstimulated. You need to breathe. This nurse, who was not assigned to me, came in. I guess they sent her because they noticed the monitors was off of me. And she comes to me. As I said, I just took it off and I needed to breathe because I felt this immense of anger. And she looks at me and she says, I have to put the monitors back on. And I said, that's fine. Just give me a few minutes. Give me at least a minute. I'm just trying to gather myself. I'm overstimulated. And this little heifer had the audacity as another black woman and be like, well, if anything happens to you, are you giving consent that if anything were to happen to you and your baby, that we are not responsible? I said, whoa, 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 whoa. All I said is I need a minute to gather myself and you can put it back on. When in the hell did we go all the way left? At that moment, when I saw how annoyed and she thought I was being over dramatic, at this point I let loose. Especially knowing she was a black woman and that's how she wanted to treat me. Oh no, you're getting my wrath with everybody with you. At this point, I became belligerent. I sure did become belligerent. And did I get results? Yes, I did. I was too nice. Because I wasn't complaining as much and I was trying to be strong because I didn't want to be the angry black woman, no one was listening to me. No matter how many times I repeated myself, no one cared, no one listened to me. There was no sense of urgency since the beginning. Until I got belligerent. And I told her to get out of my face. Right then and there. I am thankful for this nurse if she ever comes across this video. Her name is Allison. I had the best nurse. When I told you, I feel like Jehovah sent her to me. Because not all nurses are good, but the good ones you hold tight. Because Allison come in and looked at that nurse and said, get out. That's what she told that nurse. She stood for me. She didn't even ask what was going on. When she saw how I was reacting, she immediately went in and become what I needed her to be that I expected from the other one. She came in, stood 10 toes deep and told that nurse to get out. And she looked at me and she said, I know you're reacting because you feel like we don't care about you. I care about you. I'm not going to let you die. I'm going to do something about it. What do you need? I looked at her and she held me and she cradled me and said, everything's going to be okay. And at that moment, she put her big girl pants on, went to that doctor and said, prescribe her something right now. And at that moment, I felt a sigh of relief. But I feel like if I did not become that angry black woman, I would not have gotten that help at that moment. Okay? My best friend fighting for me. And at this point, I guess because I wasn't reacting, they're just like, okay, it's a bunch of this. It's a bunch of this. At that moment, around 3:30 in the afternoon, from 10:30 p.m. the night before to 3:30 in the afternoon, the contractions did not stop. It did not slow down. They finally prescribed me morphine. Still have not checked my cervix since 3 a.m. Keep that in mind. It's been a 12-hour gap. They finally give me this morphine and I'm looking at the nurse. I'm looking at my best friend. And I'm like, when is this going to work? When does it start kicking in? And they're like, it's going to take time. I said, take time. At this point, my son is descending even lower. There's this thing called Ring of Fire. Hey, the people who do this raw, the people who are delivering naturally, I salute you, because it's not me. It's not me. It's not for me. I'm not meant to be in those type of trenches. I remember sitting there and I said, it's another 20 minutes. I said, my booty hole is on fire. Is that normal? All I remember as these people were, my best friend and the nurse is putting socks on me. And they looked up, and said, what? I said, my booty hole is on fire. My booty hole on fire, like somebody lit a match under my booty hole. And I don't know why I feel that way. Is that normal? Is that from the medicine? All of a sudden, the nurse was like, when's the last time they checked your cervix? I said, at 3 a.m., girl. I was 3.5 centimeters. She said, no one has checked you since then. I said, no. The moment I said my booty hole was on fire, it was like someone went inside of me and started separating, like literally separating me from the inside like this, just stretching me out. And when I said it was the most, I kept saying the contractions was excruciation. No, the contractions were light compared to the ring of fire, because at this point you're feeling it both in your vagina and your booty hole. Okay, it feels like they're becoming one. There's no wall. It all merge into one, and you feel like something is stretching, which truly it is. It's the baby's head that's moving down. It's stretching. When she was like, get on the bed, I'm about to check you right now. Y'all, guess how many centimeters I was? Your girl was a whole 8 centimeters, and she felt the head. And she said, oh, heck nah. She started calling the Nicu people, the doctor, the other midwife who's supposed to deliver me, because the doctor done that because she didn't believe I was going to give birth today. What expliquer? Obligé réfléchir encore. There's things you explain. You're like, that could not be real, and it was. It was. So at this point, they call the person who's supposed to give me the epidural. Everyone's rushing. As I said, they did not believe I was giving birth. So now everybody running up, down, left, right, all that. I get out the bed because at this point, I'm screaming. Me and 2 other ladies in this labor and delivery line, in these rooms, you can hear all of us. All of a sudden, all the testosterone in my body, I start, oh. I can't even do it. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Like, I get out the bed. I feel like the baby is shooting out of my booty hole. The nurse is like, don't push, don't push. I said, lady, I'm finna push. I need this baby out of me now, okay? I start, like, this is literally my face. I said, oh no. I start fixing myself. I get up. I'm on 4s, okay? I'm on the floor. I'm rolling around. I'm trying to figure out where to put my body because I cannot escape the pain. And I said, y'all need to get the epidural in me right now. I'm not playing with y'all. Where's the guy? Where's the woman? Whoever doing this need to come down. Contractions even longer. Child, I felt like I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die. So here's the guy who comes in to give me the epidural. My best friend is holding me tight because this is her job. Like, her career, it's like she works in the OR and things like that. So she's looking at me. She's like, baby girl, I know you're in pain, but I need you to stand still. I need you to sit still. She said, breathe with me. Don't move. Don't do nothing. Here's my best friend holding me tight. She said, please, baby, please don't move. I said, y'all got literally 2 minutes to give me the epidural because I know the contraction is coming and I can't guarantee you mid-contraction I will be still. Y'all got 2 minutes. Apparently, from my husband's perspective, he's looking at me from behind, making sure everything good. The guy done dropped the needle for why he took forever, because I'm sitting here embracing myself. I'm in so much pain, I just don't care. So I'm like, yo, and I remember myself saying like, yo, why has it not happened yet? Why, like, I'm trying to turn around. I'm like, bruh, hurry up. And my friend was like, no, don't turn around. I'm like, hurry up. The contraction is coming. I can feel it. It's on its way. The guy done dropped the needle, so he gotta give me the needle. The moment that needle went through my back, I did not feel the needle go through my back. What indicated that the needle was in my back was this cool fluid. It was the best feeling in the world. Oh my goodness, the best feeling in the world. I felt this relief because it literally started running down my back the moment the contraction started, and I felt the contraction just get less and less. Like I felt less of it and less of it, and I was like, yes, yes. So at this point, once I get the epidural, the morphine kicks in. I'm on cloud now, so not only I don't feel like from here and down, because they're like, yeah, you're gonna be basically paralyzed, you're not gonna feel anything. I said, I don't care, I don't want to feel anything. I'm high off the morphine. So I'm like, oh my god. I became like a whole different person. Now this nurse, literally, I looked at my best friend, I said, call my sister right now, because the baby finna come. If I was 8 centimeters, when y'all have to do all that, the baby right up, okay? The nurse will go and look at my best friend and say, it's not like the baby coming in another 40 minutes. We got time. It could be another 10 hours. I look at my best friend. I said, ignore her. Come on. I said, thank God I did that, because by the time that all happened, an hour done passed. Okay, at this point, it was like 4:30, 4:45. Baby descended. Okay. By 4:50ish, 5 p.m., I told that lady, I feel the urge to push. She said, what? I said, yeah, I feel the urge to push. The moment my sister walks through that door, I'm 10 centimeters, there's the head. In 23 minutes, I pushed my son out. Yeah, not even a whole hour passed by, my son came out. After 6 pushes, my son came out. And what's so funny about the pushes, because I couldn't feel anything, I couldn't tell that I was really pushing. So I'm sitting here and I'm like trying to like guess, am I pushing right? Because they're just like, push harder. Baby, I can't feel nothing. I don't even know if I'm pushing. So I'm like, like like making it seem like I'm pushing, because I don't even know what I'm doing. So it's until they're like, touch the head. And they're like, okay. They're like, push. And they're like, that's it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do that again. Because I didn't even know what was going on. I'm still high, remind you. That whole delivery process, y'all, it's just so crazy. It takes 2 people in the privacy of their home to create a baby. But then you have a room full of 20 people looking at you in your most vulnerable position ever in your life for this baby to come out. So the moment he comes out, because prior to me giving birth to him, because I was having him at 30 weeks, the nurses were basically preparing me. Usually babies that are born at 30 weeks, because their lungs are still underdeveloped, it's not fully developed, they tend not to cry because they don't have the strength to do it. And that they tend to be like 2.5 pounds or under. So I'm expecting a very, very tiny baby and no noise. And to be honest, I've been disassociated with my whole entire pregnancy, and at this moment even more dissociated. So I had no expectations. I did not anticipate anything. I just wanted it to be over because it was so traumatizing for me. And so when I finally pushed him out and I heard his first cry. Now, that means so much to me, because I remember prior to all of this happening, me and a few other friends were pregnant around the same time, and kind of in a way, in order, gave birth. So she gave birth like a month before me, literally a month before me, because my baby was supposed to be born in May. Okay. And she told me, like, she was like, when you hear that first cry, it will click. Like, you're gonna realize, oh my God, you're a mother, like, he's real. And so that thought just was like, I kind of pushed it back, because I was told like I wasn't gonna hear him cry and how everything played out. Like, I just did not know what to expect. It just felt unreal, because it was nothing that I wanted. So when he finally came out, and he actually cried, and I mean, it was a very strong cry, very strong. Like, everyone was very surprised, like, how strong he was crying. And I literally bust out in tears, especially when they put him on me and started wiping him down. And I was like, you're real. Like, that's what I kept saying. I was like, he's real. He's beautiful. Oh my God, he's real. And then it was so quick, though, that I was still trying to process that moment. I was still trying to hold on to that moment, because even though they put him on me, they had to put him under the heater and all these things. So I didn't actually get to hold him. I didn't get to look at him. It was more so like they hauled my baby and everyone followed to the bed, the NICU bed that they were like putting his CPAP on and his feeding tube in and wrapping him and all of that. So by then, like, as I said, I'm still dissociated. So they're bringing a baby, as you guys see in the photo. They're bringing the baby with all these tubes, and they're like, take a picture. You want to hold him? And I'm like, I can't see his face. I can't see nothing. If my husband did not take pictures of what he looked like when they weighed him and held him like this, I would have never known what my baby looked like. Like, it just felt unreal. So after they made me take a picture, they just hauled my baby and the room just got empty, and I was just there by myself, and it just felt like I didn't even give birth. Like, it felt like everything that just happened was make-believe. I didn't get to hold my baby. I didn't get to assess. I didn't get to be in the moment. None of that. All of that was taken from me. And so after I was done, I gave birth and they hauled my baby away. Remind you, I still can't move yet because of the epidural. So when I finally moved, they moved me to the postpartum area, and there was a bassinet in there, and they were like, well, you don't need that. They hold it out. I was like, you did not have to do all that. You didn't have to do all that. So I did not get to hold my baby till like 2 days after. So like, they're reeling me in to see this baby at this NICU. I see nothing. I see the tiniest body, but his whole face is covered. Like, I did not know what I was looking at. So I was still dissociating that I was a mother and that I actually gave birth, because I just did not understand what was going on. I didn't know anyone who went through the NICU experience or anything. Like, I was the first in my family to go through this, and I was just sitting here like, okay. And they're like, congrats. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying congrats for, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. They're telling me to pump. They're telling me this. I'm like, did I even have this baby? So after 3 days, when I finally held him, and it was really emotional because, like, as I said, I still dissociated, but this was the first time I actually got to see his face. So they were changing his CPAP, and he was crying so much. And so they were like, you can hold him. Let's see, like, you holding him will comfort him. And the moment I held him, he just stopped crying. And that was the first time he opened his eyes. Like, I saw his eyes, and he kind of smiled. And I literally bawled in tears, and I was like, this is my son. This is my son. And I think that's when, like, the more I held him and stuff like that, it started to get deeper, and now I started to create the bond, like, okay, I'm a mother. This is my child. He is real. He is here. So let's get into the NICU experience. and I'm gonna make this quick. So I'm one of the few privileged, like I understand I'm privileged in a way, because the time my baby was born, usually babies are not discharged till like 36 to 38 weeks. My baby was discharged at 35 weeks. So he still was released as a preemie, but because he was doing everything really well, he was developing pretty fast, very well. And by the graces of God, you know, even after the hospital, no complications. Even though at the moment it felt long, now looking back, it was pretty short. It was pretty short. And what I can say is, as my kid is screaming right now, thank God I'm almost done filming. I am thankful that at the end my baby came out strong. And that was an experience of itself, and that goes to show that women are not given enough credit for bringing life into this world, and we should be given the uttermost respect populating this earth, because it's not an easy task. Even the aftermath is not an easy task. I've been mothering my child for 6 months because he was in the Nicu for a month. And every day is something new. The care, the nurturing, it doesn't go away. And it makes me really appreciate every woman. It makes me look at women very differently. It makes me appreciate us more. So when you see a mother and you see her crying baby, give her grace, because she's probably not giving grace to herself. On some real. Even for me, every day, and I make it and I gather myself and I'm adjusting every day, because they change every day. They change every week. Whatever worked the month before don't work now. What worked yesterday don't work today. Give them grace, give them love, give them support. One thing I'm very thankful is I was very supportive and hands-on with all my friends that had kids. Therefore, I got that 10 times fold. That made this transition way easier for me. So I hold that experience very dear to my heart, and I will continue to be more graceful to every woman, whether she has a kid or not. Even going through the miscarriage, I understand both ends of the stick. This does not make you less of a woman. You're just an amazing woman regardless. Regardless. You just woke up, Bubba. You just woke up. You're not even crying. Why was you screaming so bad? Say hi. Say hi to my little miracle. Hi. He's so mad right now. Hi. Ogungu. Ogungu. Hi, Bubba. Hi. Hi. Say hi. Say I'm 7 months. I'm beating all my milestones, even though he was born early and they predicted that it was going to take him longer to do so. But he's doing it on time like an on-term baby. Okay, he weighs as much as a 1-year-old. He has a big appetite. He really is obsessed with me and my husband. He wants to be in everything. He loves to talk. And his preferred language is Haitian Creole. He will not actually really engage with English. I don't know why, because we speak English more than Haitian Creole. But he only responds to Haitian Creole. His favorite words right now is dada, hey, and yeah. He says yeah a lot, and it's because of me. And when he wakes up, he likes to say hey. He likes to let us know that he's up, so he'd be like, hey, hey. And we will see you in our next video. Say bye. Bye-bye. He's so intrigued, y'all. He's still waking up. High five. High five. High five. Good job.